When it comes to the flashier side of celebrity life, like a garage full of high-end cars, Jessi Colter has always been remarkably private. Unlike many of her peers known for their Cadillacs and Lincolns, there's very little public information about what she drives today. Her focus has always been on music, family, and faith, not luxury goods. Of course, during their years together, she and Waylon shared an appreciation for classic American muscle, a common thread among country stars of that era. Waylon was famously the narrator for the Dukes of Hazzard and even owned one of the iconic 1969 Dodge Chargers known as the General Lee. But while Jessi was surrounded by this culture, she was never one to publicly flaunt a car collection. Instead of collecting cars, Jessi's passions are more introspective. Her primary hobby has always been her first love, music. Even when she's not officially recording, she never stops creating. She's a masterful piano player, but also skilled with the guitar and harmonica. For Jessi, music isn't a job, it's how she breathes. Another of her most significant passions is her faith. Growing up with a preacher for a mother, spirituality has been her anchor. She returned to her faith during the most turbulent years with Waylon, and it became a central theme in her memoir and her music. She's released several gospel albums, including the critically acclaimed 2017 album The Psalms, produced by Shooter, which features her singing spontaneous melodies over ancient scriptura, pure expression of her devotion. Jessi has also dedicated herself to physical wellness. Her official website has mentioned her years of training with renowned strength coach Tim McClellan, a commitment to health that is undoubtedly a key factor in her continued vitality. Finally, Jessi is a storyteller. Writing her memoir was a massive undertaking, allowing her to share her incredible journey in her own words. While we can't give you a list of cars in her garage, Jessi Colter's life is rich with the hobbies that truly define her: music, faith, family, and storytelling. After decades as a solo artist, hit songwriter, and the savvy steward of a legendary estate, many are curious about the financial standing of the Outlaw Queen. So, what is Jessi Colter's net worth? This impressive fortune wasn't built overnight. It's the result of steady earnings from a career spanning more than 50 years. First and foremost is her own legendary music career. The cornerstone of her success was the 1975 monster hit, I'm Not Lisa. As both the writer and performer, Jessi earned significant royalties from its massive sales and radio play. Because it was a top 5 pop hit, its earning power was multiplied exponentially. The album it came from, I'm Jessi Colter, was also a #1 seller, and follow-up hits solidified her status as a bankable solo star. Her role in the outlaw movement was also incredibly lucrative. *wanted. The Outlaws* was the first country album ever certified platinum, generating enormous revenue for everyone involved. The second major pillar of her net worth is the management of the Waylon Jennings estate. When Waylon passed away in 2002, his net worth was estimated at around $7 million. He left his estate, including his incredibly valuable music catalog and publishing rights, primarily to Jessi and their son, Shooter. This has become a significant and ongoing source of income. Waylon's music remains incredibly popular, generating an estimated $1 to $2 million per year from royalties alone through sales, streaming, and licensing. The strategic partnership with WME Legends, formed in 2021, was designed to maximize these opportunities and grow the value of the Waylon Jennings brand. Finally, Jessi's net worth is supplemented by other ventures, including book sales from her 2017 memoir, An Outlaw and a Lady, merchandise, and the successful 2014 auction of Waylon's memorabilia. Jessi Colter's $5 million net worth is a testament to a lifetime of artistic and business acumen. She built her own success and then, with her son, has worked diligently to protect and grow the legacy of her late husband at 82 years old. Jessi Colter is a living testament to the power of authenticity. She is so much more than the widow of a country giant or the first lady of outlaw country. She is a pioneer who kicked down doors in a male-dominated industry and a woman whose life has been a masterclass in resilience, faith, and grace. Her legacy is etched into music history. With her soulful voice and piano-driven melodies, she brought a new sound and perspective to Nashville. Songs like I'm Not Lisa weren't just hits. They were raw, honest expressions of the human heart that resonated with millions. As the only woman on the cover of *wanted, the Outlaws*, she wasn't a token addition. She was an essential part of the revolution, an artist who commanded respect with pure talent. Beyond the stage, her legacy is one of profound strength. She navigated the turbulent waters of life with a rock and roll icon, weathering storms of addiction and fame with a quiet fortitude anchored in her faith. Her memoir shared a story of unconditional love and, ultimately, redemption. Today, Jessi Colter's life is one of peaceful purpose. She is a devoted mother and grandmother, a creative partner to her son, and the guardian of a monumental musical inheritance. While she has largely stepped away from the spotlight, her influence continues to reverberate, a symbol of artistic integrity for any artist who wants to write their own rules and sing their own truth. Her life proves that the most powerful legacies are measured not just in platinum albums, but in the strength of spirit and the courage to live and love on your own terms. What did you think of Jessi Colter's incredible story? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about your favorite music legends. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. She was the undisputed First Lady of Outlaw Country, a woman whose voice could stop you in your tracks, hauntingly vulnerable one moment, fiercely independent the next. Today, at 82 years old, Jessi Colter's story is as compelling as ever. But what does life look like for the woman behind the legend? We're pulling back the curtain to explore it all, from her famous son and private homes to the hobbies that define her. And of course, we'll answer the big question: what is her net worth today? Stick around as we uncover the incredible, and often private, lifestyle of Jessi Colter. If you were to write Jessi Colter's life as a country song, you'd need every chord. It's a story of deep faith, staggering heartache, undeniable talent, and pure survival. Born Miriam Johnson on May 25, 1943, in Phoenix, Arizona. Her childhood was a fascinating blend of the sacred and the secular. Her mother was a Pentecostal preacher, while her father was a race car driver, and that mix would echo through her entire career. Music wasn't just a hobby, it was a calling. By 11, she was the pianist at her local church, her hands flying across the keys, mastering the instrument that would become her signature. After high school, she dove into the Phoenix club scene, and that's where she met rock and roll pioneer Duane Eddy. He was a guitar legend, and she was a young woman with a powerful voice and a gift for songwriting. They hit the road together, married in 1962, and she began her recording career under the name Miriam Eddy. She found early success writing songs for stars like Dottie West and Nancy Sinatra, but this chapter ended when her marriage dissolved. In 1968, Miriam, now a single mother, moved back to Arizona. That return home set the stage for the most defining relationship of her life. In 1969, she met the magnetic, rebellious force of nature that was Waylon Jennings. Their connection was immediate and electric. They married that same year, and with his encouragement, Miriam Johnson transformed. She adopted the stage name Jessi Colter, a nod to an ancestor who had reportedly ridden with the infamous outlaw Jesse James. It wasn't just a name change, it was the birth of an icon. With Waylon, Jessi stepped into the heart of Nashville, but they had no intention of playing by its rules. Alongside friends like Willie Nelson and Chris Christopherson, they spearheaded the outlaw country movement, a rebellion against the polished, overproduced Nashville sound. They demanded creative control and a raw, more authentic sound, and they won. Jessi was the lone woman at the forefront of this musical revolution, a queen among kings. Her career skyrocketed. In 1975, she signed with Capitol Records and released I'm Not Lisa. The haunting ballad was a massive crossover smash, hitting #1 on the country charts and soaring to #4 on the pop charts. The album I'm Jessi Colter also topped the charts, followed by another hit, What's Happened to Blue Eyes. The peak of the outlaw movement came in 1976 with the collaborative album *Wanted. The Outlaws *, featuring Jesse Waylon, Willie Nelson, and Tom Pelglazer. The album was a phenomenon, becoming the very first country album in history to be certified platinum. Jessi Colter proved she wasn't just the wife of an outlaw, she was an outlaw herself, a respected and powerful artist in her own right. But life off stage was a different kind of storm. The outlaw life was one of hard living, and Jessi stood by Waylon as he battled the addictions that plagued their world. In her powerful 2017 memoir, An Outlaw and a Lady, She wrote with unflinching honesty about the chaos and the deep abiding love that saw them through. She returned to the faith of her childhood, finding it a source of strength when life with Waylon was at its most challenging. In the 1980s, she stepped back from her own career to care for her husband and their son, Shooter, supporting Waylon as he finally got clean and sober. Through it all, their love endured. They remained married until Waylon's death in 2002 from complications of diabetes. In the years since, Jessi has continued to honor their legacy while forging her own path, proving that her indestructible spirit is as much a part of her legend as her music. While her early life included a daughter, Jennifer, from her first marriage, to Dwayne Eddy, the most public chapter of Jessi's family life is defined by her son with Waylon Jennings. On May 19, 1979, they welcomed Waylon Albright Jennings, but the world would come to know him as Shooter. Growing up with two musical legends for parents, Shooter was immersed in a world of tour buses, recording studios, and backstage passes from day one. It was an unconventional childhood, to say the least, but it gave him a front row seat to the creative whirlwind of the outlaw movement. It was almost inevitable that Shooter would follow in his parents' footsteps, but he was determined to do it his own way. He carved out a unique path, becoming a successful and critically acclaimed musician, songwriter, and producer in his own right. His sound often blends country, rock, and even industrial influences, proving the rebellious, genre-bending spirit of the Outlaws runs deep in his veins. He's released numerous solo albums and has become a go-to producer for a diverse range of artists. From Brandi Carlile and Tanya Tucker to Marilyn Manson, the bond between mother and son isn't just personal, it's profoundly professional. Jessi and Shooter share a deep respect for each other's artistry and have collaborated on many projects. Shooter has produced his mother's more recent albums, including the spiritual 2017 album The Psalms, and her 2023 release, Edge of Forever. Their work together is a beautiful fusion of legacy and innovation, with Shooter helping to frame his mother's timeless voice in a modern context. Together, Jessi and Shooter are the dedicated custodians of Waylon Jennings' monumental legacy. After Waylon's passing in 2002, his estate, including his invaluable music catalog and image rights, was left primarily to his wife and son. This wasn't just an inheritance of wealth, but an inheritance of responsibility, a duty to preserve and protect the music of one of country music's most important figures. They have taken this role seriously, carefully managing his assets and ensuring his music continues to reach new generations. This has involved overseeing remastered releases, tribute albums, and other posthumous projects, like a series of previously unreleased albums Shooter recently unearthed. Their stewardship is a partnership designed to ensure that Waylon's legacy doesn't just exist in the past but continues to be a vibrant and active force in popular culture. For Jessi, this work is more than business, it's a labor of love. Every project is a way to keep her late husband's spirit alive. Shooter, too, often speaks of his father's influence, performing his songs and ensuring that the man behind the legend is never forgotten. Through their combined efforts, the family ensures that the story of Waylon Jennings and, by extension, the story of the outlaw movement continues to be told with the authenticity and integrity it deserves. Jessi Colter's homes have always been her sanctuaries, private retreats far from the demands of the road. Her real estate footprint is tied to the two states that defined her journey: Tennessee, the heart of the music industry, and Arizona, her beloved home state. During the height of the outlaw movement, Jessi and Waylon's home in Brentwood, Tennessee, which they called Southern Comfort, was ground zero for the revolution shaking up Music City. It was a legendary gathering place for icons like Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and Chris Christie. In her cookbook, Jessi painted a picture of a home filled with family, friends, and celebration, including a sobriety party for Johnny Cash. But as the pressures of fame and Waylon's addictions intensified, they sought refuge. In the 1980s, the family made a pivotal move to a remote ranch in Arizona. It was a conscious choice to escape the Nashville scene and its temptations, allowing Waylon a private space to get clean. For Jessi, Arizona represented a return to her roots and a place of healing. After Waylon's death in 2002, he was laid to rest in the state where he found sobriety and peace. It's the state Jessi continues to call home today. While she remains fiercely private, records indicate her primary residence is in Scottsdale, Arizona. She reportedly purchased a comfortable 3,399 square foot home there in 2005 for $835,000. It's not an ostentatious mansion, but a reflection of her lifestyle, one of substance and privacy, rather than flashy displays of wealth. It's her desert haven, a place to focus on family, faith, and creativity. Over the years, the estate has managed other real estate holdings and personal assets with a savvy touch. In 2014, a major auction of Waylon Jennings's memorabilia, including instruments and motorcycles, raised over $2.4 million, with proceeds benefiting charities and the estate. Today, at 82, Jessi Colter's lifestyle is defined by the comfort and security she's earned. Her Arizona home is more than just a house. It's a symbol of her journey, a place of peace, far from the wild days of the outlaw era.